You know what I love building? Really small, mass-produced infantry mechs. Something that's about that tall compared to a minifigure. Here's 3 of them that I've done before, but we're not talking about them today. Today we're talking about a newer and better one that I just built, which I call the Baldur suit. So here's the Baldur suit. It's basically meant to just be a standard issue, mass-produced infantry type mech. It's come to my attention that I've been using a lot of really bright, high contrast color schemes recently, and I wanted to see if I could not do that for a build. Hence the olive green and dark tan colors on this guy, which I really like. The black in the helmet and kind of the upper chest also really goes well with it. A little bit of personal detail here from the pilot, like a sticker or a paint scheme or something like that. And yeah, I'm a big fan of how this looks. I love the texturing, I love the shape. Just looks tough. But not in like an unfriendly way, because I still imagine this being a good guy. Here's something you might have noticed if you saw a previous video of mine. This is Nitro Bubblegum. This is the Baldur suit. Same head design. I reused the helmet design from Nitro Bubblegum on the Baldur suit because Nitro Bubblegum doesn't really have any protection around its pilot, and I wanted to see how that helmet looked with actual armor around it. So yes, I reused my design. I'm allowed to do that. The cockpit is fun to open because I love this helmet design, as I mentioned before, so that just folds back. The chest kind of puffs out a little bit. You can fold it all the way down if you really want, but I like to think it just clips open a little bit. And the pilot's not even held in with any studs. He just lifts out. These panels that kind of come together to form the chest, there's this little ridge right here on the center panel, and the other 2 panels rest against that, so that keeps them in place even when there's no minifigure in the cockpit. Also, here's a better look at the pilot when not in his cockpit. He looks like a friendly guy. Around the back is the mech's backpack with this big antenna on it, because mechs look cooler with antenna. And here is the mech's rifle. It's held up on the backpack just like that, unclips very easily. Held on by this one little clip here. Wish that piece came in dark bluish gray, that would make my life easier. Down here is a little pistol for the pilot to use, and LEGO does this a lot, having weapon storage on mechs or other types of vehicles, but I imagine this is not a in-universe thing in real life. This wouldn't be there. The pilot would have it on him in his cockpit. But because with all of my mechs, I imagine it being Titanfall rules, where when the pilot is out of the mech can still operate under its own AI. And I like to pose the mechs and their pilots together like they're going on missions. And when I do that, I like to have the pilot with a weapon. So rather than making it so that every time I want to do this, I have to go to my workspace and get a gun out of the gun drawer, I just put one here so that it's always there for me, and it's really handy. I use the this roundish stud piece instead of the clip so that when the gun isn't there, it still looks like a little bit of greebling or detail instead of just like an obvious empty clip. So yeah, that's what that is. Articulation for this build was kind of tricky because there's a lot of funky stuff going on in the chest, which made it hard to mount the arms in a natural place, which by the way, if you want to see more of that stuff, you can buy the instructions for this build over on Rebrickable or PayHip. The links will be down in my description. So as a solution, these shoulders up here are kind of a lie because they're actually attached way back here. Here's where the actual shoulders are. You see there's like not even any attachment here. And that was done to give these, well, one, to put these shoulders in a natural looking place, but also to give these arms enough ability to like reach across the chest, because if it was a hard mount here, they wouldn't be able to get past all this bulk in his front torso here. And that allows this mech to pull off all kinds of, you know, more natural looking poses, like holding his rifle the way you'd expect a human to hold a rifle, and all sorts of fun stuff that I just wouldn't be able to do with like a hard mounted shoulder. Also, here's a closer look at his rifle. There's nothing that groundbreaking about it, but it's got a fun little bit of texture here, and I like it. I'm proud of this one. So this is the Blockbuster. He's probably the most recent of these guys that I've built, and I'm going to use him as my comparison example because in my LEGO world, I imagine these two going up against each other a lot, and I like this one better. That's why he's the good guy and he gets to be the bad guy. Limbs, for starters, are very spindly. Look how skinny and tiny his arms are. Legs, not quite as bad, but like feet, still a little flattish in a way I don't love. Baldur suit, on the other hand, looks very filled out, muscular, powerful, armored in a way that I really enjoy. However, this is the biggest thing I wanted to correct. When it comes to really small mechs like these, encapsulating the pilot completely is probably one of the biggest tricks. The Blockbuster opens kind of in a fun and interesting way. All these panels split open and you can see the pilot sitting inside. However, when you pull the pilot out, there we go, you're left with, from the front, it looks pretty okay. But once you turn him to the side, you can see that big gap right through him, like, look at that. So again, here's the Baldur suit for a comparison, and look how sealed up it is along the side. I love these flag pieces, they're so useful for this. There is still some gapping in there, like you can see a tiny bit of light through there. The pilot's still in him, and we'll actually even take the pilot out. A little bit of gap right here. I can tolerate that because it's way smaller than the gap the original ones had, and yeah, this is a step in the right direction for me. Not the end goal, obviously going to keep trying to improve on my next build, but I'm happy with this. Alright, and that is going to do it for the Baldur suit. Once again, if you like this build and you want to make it yourself, the instructions will be linked in my pinned comment as well as the description down below. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you really like this video, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment and tell me what you thought of these guys. I've been Mindbender, and I will talk to you later.